Derby. Unbeaten City host a United side who've won their last 4 in the league under Erik ten Hag. Let's hear from both managers ahead of the showdown at the Etihad.
Always I expect in front of the opponents we're going to face, always expect the best. The quality they have is no doubt about that for many years. And they come with very good results, tough sides, because winning in Southampton always not easy, but especially Liverpool and Arsenal at home. So, and yeah, good momentum for them.
We don't play against Haaland, we play against Man City, and they have a team and more than 11 players, but we have also, and we are convinced of our capabilities, and if we act as a team, in and out of possession, then you can beat such opponents.
Well, it is always a massive game, the Manchester Derby, and this one feels extra special for some reason, with a new manager in charge at Manchester United, a good run of recent form as well, Leanne. How much of a statement would it be if Man United were to manage to beat City?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was sitting here a month ago kind of saying I didn't know when Manchester United's first win was going to come from. I went to the Brentford Community Stadium as a fan. I was so, embarrassed to be there, really. Obviously, no one likes losing, but it's how we were losing games. And then all of a sudden, Erik ten Hag brought everybody in on that Sunday, ran them a little bit more. Some people question that, from a sports site perspective, because you don't really usually see that happening. And then from that moment on, we beat Liverpool, we beat Arsenal. So I'm not getting carried away. It's only 4 games, because Brighton, Brentford, the first 2 games of the season, we were absolutely awful. And I still think we've turned the corner. But like I said, I'm not getting carried away, and I'm actually excited for this game. I really am. Apart from Haaland playing, who concerns me, as I said. I'm going to have sleepless nights about this till Sunday. But I do have a good feeling about it, because we are on a good run. I think the international break hasn't helped us. I think it's helped some teams when you need a bit of a break, but I think we're on a really good run, and hopefully we can push on from that.
Leanne's got a good feeling about it, but after the way you talked up Haaland, can you see anything other than a City win?
No, I can't. What I can see...
Get out.
I can see a closer game, because I do agree with Leanne. This is a different United side. 4 of the last 5 games they've won. Actually, to be fair to them, 5 of the last 6 they've won, if you put in the European game as well. But also when I look at the United side, he's taken the big calls. He's taken our friend Ronaldo out of the starting lineup. He's taken Maguire at the starting lineup.
You guys mates with him?
We know.
I was defending Ronaldo with my life with Darren and Righty the other week on the show here.
And yeah, you did defend him quite a lot. But you can see they've improved for him not being in the side.
Yes, I agree with that to a certain degree, but I think Harry Maguire not being in the lineup and Martinez and Varane have been a major catalyst, because you can see it's almost like they look like Bonucci and Chiellini. They're going for a tackle, they're hitting each other. Do you know what I mean? That kind of fight you see. It doesn't always have to take a goal to be a turning point in a game, and they seem like they have a Malacia coming in. I think they've been great additions to the team. And
I tell you what's quite interesting, for all the people who are watching who might think, well, we've been talking about Haaland, he's going to steamroll the Martinez at centre-half. When Martinez played at Ajax, their record against Dortmund, Haaland's Dortmund, was very good. And I think there were 3 matches where Haaland didn't score. So that would give some United fans some cause for optimism.
I like that stat, Darren.
I thought I'd maybe make it up to you a little bit. But I just think in general terms, this is a very, very different Manchester United. Before the international break, before this run of form, I would have said no way top 4. Since he's made the big calls and they've been playing better, more energy, more fight, knife between their teeth kind of football, I think this United side are really going to give a good account of themselves this season.
It'll be interesting to see as well if Casemiro, gets a start, because since he's come along, Scott McTominay, who I never thought I'd say, has been absolutely brilliant. And Casemiro can't seem to get in the team. So I'm hoping that he can get a start on Sunday, because I think we need players like Casemiro in that lineup, because he plays in big games. He's won the Champions League, he's played on the world stage, and I think we need these types of players that know how to win games. So hopefully,
would you play Casemiro and Fred together like they do for their national side, or would you play Casemiro as a pivot, Bruno Fernandes and Christian Eriksen. So you got more
no
flair,
one with Fred,
more attack.
Darren. Anybody other than Fred in that 11. No disrespect to Fred, but no, because when they play together, it's too defensive. So I'd play Eriksen.
I love that
think
you
he's been
say that
brilliant.
and say no disrespect, but never Fred.
No. And any Manchester United fan will tell you the same. You know, McTominay and Fred in the midfield
No disrespect,
doesn't
but I
work.
never want to see you play for Man United again.
No, but I think any Man United fan would say, you guys are killing me, but like, you know, any Man United fan will tell you the same thing. We've got Casemiro in. Why are we playing McTominay and Fred? You know, we don't need... And Eriksen has been great since he's come in. And a lot of people said, oh, you know, Eriksen, he's old, he's not going to be able to do this. But if he would have gone to anyone other than Man United, I feel like everyone would have been saying how great he was.
I love you, Fred.
I love you too, Fred. I love any player that plays for Man United, just not in our 11 on
I'll
Sunday.
tell you what, I'm gonna make your sleepless nights a bit worse by showing you some of Haaland's goals this season.
Credit where it's due.
Let's take a look at them because, as we said earlier, he's been quite remarkable, Darren. I mean, how does anyone stop him? The only side that have done it so far this season, believe it or not, are Bournemouth.
And I think the way to stop him possibly might be not to let him get the ball. His movement's exceptional. He doesn't have that many touches in the box, but when he does, they are decisive. And if they, for all his movement, if they can starve him off the ball, then they have a chance. And that's why I would be joking about a second ago, but maybe that might be United's best route to success, to play a very defensively minded side with lots of discipline to prevent that combination between the creativity of an Eriksen and the cutting edge of a Haaland. He scores all kinds of goals. He's so confident at the moment. 11 so far in the Premier League so far this season, and we are only just entering October.
I think it's also okay not touching the ball. Remember in his first game, he got 11 touches on the ball and he still scored, you know, and he's that type of centre forward. You do have to cut off the supply. I mean, Manchester City have so many top players, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, you know, Foden, Cancelo. The assists he's got this season have been unbelievable. So it's difficult to cut off that supply because if you mark De Bruyne, they're just going to pass it to Gundogan. So they just have that strength. But what a player Haaland is.
As a striker, what do you admire most about him?
I think his ability to be patient. You know, I was always the centre forward that some managers liked it, some managers didn't. I always wanted the ball. I'd call for the ball with 3 or 4 players on me because I always fancied my ability to get out of it. But some managers used to stop calling for the ball. Haaland's very patient, stays in the right areas. You know, you see the first few games of the season, he was in and around the 6-yard box, made those movements, got the ball. There was one that Foden should have played across to him. Do you remember? And he didn't, and he never did that again because he made sure he gave him the ball the next time. But I just think Haaland could score any types of goals. And, you know, you can do analysis about how you can stop him, show him on his left when he's going to go over his right. Show him on his right, he's going to go over his left. So you have to cut off the supply. And I just hope that he might have his off day. Every player has to have an off day, and I'm hoping it comes Sunday. But what an absolutely sensational player he's been this year.
Yeah, I do think, as you were saying, that the combination between him never losing confidence and being patient and waiting for the ball, and City retaining the ball for huge periods of time so that the opposition lose concentration. And one of the big problems with United so far, maybe over the last few years, is that they could go 80 minutes in a game and then the last 10 minutes lose their concentration. That's changed slightly with no Maguire in the side because they're a lot more organised, a lot more leadership and energy about that back line now, and ability to respond to danger. Far fewer players are able to outpace that United back line as well. But I do just see City having that edge because of that combination of cutting edge and the creativity behind him as well.
John Stones will be missing for Manchester City, but they are boosted because they've got Aymeric Laporte, who's back fit in training and likely to feature in the Manchester derby. How much of a boost is it to have him back just as they pick up an injury?
Yeah, absolutely. But this is why Pep is so fantastic at buying, you know, top players. And it's all very well having money, but it's about the right choices. And I think he does that. You know, if Nathan Ake plays, whoever plays like Kyle Walker can even play centre-back. You know, he's so versatile. So the fact that Laporte's back, John Stones went off the other day with that hamstring injury and he played well for England. And he's played minimal minutes this year as well. So, like I said, my head and my heart are telling me two different things. I do think City will probably get the win, but because I think they have too much quality. But I do think the fact Laporte's back is a massive addition for them.
If they do get the win, how important is it from a Manchester United perspective that you see a performance even if the result isn't there?
I think that's what we've enjoyed this year so far. I mean, not the first 2 games, but in the last 4 games, I'm finally seeing a philosophy for Manchester United, like a game plan and a pattern of play. Because I used to say to my fellow Manchester United friends and fans, like, what do we do? What system are we playing? And I think, am I being hypercritical because it's my team? You know, sometimes you have more emotion when it comes to your team, but I used to watch all the games back and think, I couldn't tell you what system we're playing. It's almost like someone gets the ball, they don't know where they're going with the ball. You know, you don't know if the fullbacks are bombing on, whether it's Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka's obviously, both of those 2 have been taken out the lineup, and I think we look better with Malacia in there. So don't you think it looks like we've actually got a game plan now?
Absolutely, yes. I think I'd go further than that. I think they will take Chelsea's place in the top 4. I think that's how good I think they are at the moment, and not because of the calibre of opposition that they're beaten, but you can see much more of an identity about United. You can see a much more of a willingness to work about the United players. I think there was a game earlier in the season. I can't remember. Was it Wolves where they were shocking? There was an early game and they were shocking. And lots of people turned around and said they couldn't see where United go from there, but it was Brentford.
The one that I was at that was 4-0 after like 30 minutes.
and it was disastrous. But he responded in the right way. They've responded to him in the right way. He's made the big calls. And I think this is a better United side. I think regardless of the scoreline on Sunday, we will see a good United performance because they're in a better place.